Utilizing terrifying imagery, feelings of dread, and relatable emotional trauma, Chapter 124 of Chainsaw Man has created an incredibly confusing experience. How the fuck am I supposed to go from feeling sad for this poor girl to shitting my fucking pants in the span of 16 goddamn pages? Also, can Fujimoto chill with the personal attacks here? You're scaring the hoes. I'm the hose. We're back here again with another terrifically terrifying chapter of Chainsaw Man. Maybe not the longest chapter in the world with only 16 pages, but Fujimoto has proven to us once again that size doesn't really matter because this chapter was fantastic. But before we jump into the review here, like always, remember to like this video and subscribe to my channel if you like this kind of content. My end of the year goal is 5,000 subscribers, but if everyone watching this video subscribes now, we'll probably crush that in a matter of weeks. Okay, let's relive the nightmare. Today's chapter was essentially split up into two parts. Part 1 being our exploration into the depths of Asa Mitaka's emotional trauma, and Part 2 being the continuation of the Falling Devil's nightmarish assault on Tokyo. Both are equally important, but I'm going to be talking about them separately in this video because I feel like each part served a different purpose. So let's start off with the most relatable character in shonen manga history, Asa Mitaka. And man, does her life suck. I just want to read you guys this post I found on Reddit real quick so you guys can get the full picture on how much it would suck to be her. In the span of about 9 days, give or take a few, Asa Mitaka has 1. Been killed by a classmate, 2. Made a contract with the devil, a horseman of the apocalypse, to save her life, 3. Gotten rejected by a guy in front of the whole school while possessed by said devil, 4. Made a new friend, 5. Almost been eaten by another devil while trying to save new friend, 6. Had new friend become a school shooter by making a devil contract, 7. Killed new friend turned school shooter accidentally, 8. Made another contract with another horseman of the apocalypse to resurrect said friend, 9. Watched newly resurrected friend get mulched by Chainsaw Man, 10. Gone on a date with a guy, 11. Been trapped on a date with yet another devil, 12. Had heartwarming moment with a guy interrupted by her devil trying to rip out his spine, 13. Fallen in love with said guy, 14. Had her devil forcibly kiss guy after she told him to leave her alone for his own safety. 15. Had her brain blasted by guy's little sister, also horseman of the apocalypse because she's an overprotective brat. 16. Brainwashed into thinking that guy stood her up. 17. Been invited by the local gay cryptid, hoped that he liked her, and then got shut down hard. 18. Contemplated suicide after all this bullshit. 19. Been forced to deal with whatever this bullshit is. And that's just everything that's happened in part 2 so far. If we look back through her entire life, we can add no friends, dead cat, and dead family to the laundry list. They say God gives his toughest challenges to his strongest soldiers, but Jesus Christ, this might be a coughing baby versus hydrogen bomb scenario. Now, even though the most standout moment of this chapter was where Asa said she's both afraid of companionship and solitude, I think it's a little easy to get lost in the sauce here. Sure, it's important for us to understand how Asa feels, but I feel like this moment was more for Yoru. Over the span of the last 27 chapters, Asa and Yoru have been through a lot together, but there's still a divide between them because they don't understand each other. And Yoru tries to brute force this understanding by threatening to kill Asa if she doesn't do what she says. But now we've come to an impasse here because Yoru can't do anything with Asa's body if she's constantly afraid of her. I'm hoping after seeing what Asa's going through right now, Yoru will become a little more compassionate towards her and maybe they can work more cohesively together in the future. I'm not saying that Yoru hasn't lightened up on Asa at all because there's clearly been development with their relationship. I'd still say they have a long way to go though. Maybe Yoru, after seeing Asa in this emotionally compromised state, might even end up relating to her. I'm just thinking back to Yoru mentioning that there's bullying amongst Devil Society as well, and just thinking about Yoru's massive inferiority complex. So we've talked about the elephant in the room with this chapter. If you want a super in-depth analysis of Asa's trauma, don't worry, there's probably going to be a sufferance video out tomorrow or the next day to scratch that itch. I'm not necessarily the deep dive guy, even though I want to be. I'm more of the pointing out big ol' anime titties guy. So in relation to what I just said, let's move on to the Falling Devil and Eric Carl's The Very Hungry Caterpillar. Now, the last 5 or so pages of this chapter starring Ryan Reynolds from X-Men Origins Wolverine is what I would consider peak Chainsaw Man horror. I'd like to cite something that I said a chapter review or 2 ago, but it's these moments of hellish nightmares beyond human comprehension that make the horror in Chainsaw Man so special. And as someone who's worked in the food service industry before, I gotta admire the plating on Falling Devil's dish. We got a Clockwork Orange Wade Wilson holding up a bowl of ear and nose soup. Honestly, I think that Michelin star is in the bag. And just another fun little detail from this chapter, if you look at the strewn out devil hunters at the bottom of page 11, you can even see that 2 of the devil hunters are missing their nose and ears. So that's a fun little Easter egg for all the enthusiasts out there. Now, there's a decent chance that if you're watching this video right now, you've probably already watched my video on the 7 trumpets theory. If you haven't, don't worry, that video is going to be tagged at the very end of this video, so you're your homework will be easy. But I gotta think this silly little caterpillar fellow must be one of the trumpets of revelation, right? I don't remember the exact order of the 7 trumpets, but I remember one of them was insects. Honestly, I think he's kind of cute in a fucked up way. Who knows, maybe our new little caterpillar friend might end up blooming into a beautiful butterfly if he eats enough people's soup. So on the last page of the chapter, the Falling Devil mentions that the final dish will be Asa Root Yoru, a human and war devil fusion. But thinking back to the Nostradamus prophecy that we looked at a few weeks ago, I feel like this is going to be a subversion of expectations. I don't think the dish will be Asa and Yoru, I think the dish will be for them, seeing as the Nostradamus prophecy mentions some kind of transformation that'll make Mars or war rule once again. This is just a little theory I've put together after reading this chapter. I wouldn't put too much thought into it yet because we're still missing a pretty big piece of this puzzle right now. Denji. There is a 100% chance that Denji will be showing up within the next few chapters to join in on this fight, and we all must be emotionally prepared for it. And who knows what we're gonna see. We could see Makima / Hayakawa family flashbacks, or we could see Denji sacrificing himself to save Asa. I honestly don't think that last thing is gonna happen. All I know is that we should at least be prepared for something to hurt when he shows up. Which thankfully may be pretty soon, seeing as the next chapter drops in 7 short days. But if you need more Chainsaw Man between now and then, make sure to check out my video about the 7 trumpets of revelation theory appearing on your screens right now. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next video. Bye bye now.